Thank you guys all for joining today at the webinar for simplified time tracking using Monday.com. I see someone is raising their hand.
Yeah, so how we're going to approach this is with a raising of hands. We'll just that's like the way to let us know that you got a question, and at the end there will be live Q&A, so everyone has a chance to get an answer for that question, and otherwise we'll pick it up after the webinar as well if time doesn't allow.
Perfect. As you can notice, this is my first webinar, so it's a little bit weird that I cannot talk with anyone. Normally, I'm sitting face to face to a lot of people and give them a demo while they can ask questions. So it's going to be a bit different for me, but we're going to make the best out of it. So today, we want to start with an introduction. Follow with that, I'm going to give a Monday.com demo. And followed with that, Lucas will give a demo about time management and Trackit. And by the end, what Lucas just shared, we will have a Q&A where people can ask their questions. So if you have any questions, just put them in the chat. If anything's going too fast or if anything's unclear, put it in the chat as well. And then our colleague Chloe will help with interrupting me so I can go back to that specific topic. Well, today's presenters, that's going to be me and Lucas. So I work for Idalko Netherlands and I'm a Monday.com sales consultant. I've almost been working for 2 years at Idalko and know a lot of Monday. For today, we're going to not go very much in depth. Instead, I'm going to show you guys a quick overview from what's possible. And thanks to the answers you guys gave over the input that you wanted, I'm going to give some tips and tricks on how you can use Monday to a further level. Next to that, we're going to look at automations, and I'm going to show a high-level overview. Yeah, please introduce yourself, Lucas.
So I am Lucas van Paridon from the Netherlands. I'm with Avisi Apps, and we are the developers of this app called Tracket, with which you can track your time directly in Monday.com. Usually I represent the product towards our customers and also help them with onboarding and ensuring that they can use the app and know exactly how to. So that's also what I'll be doing here today with you, to give you a walkthrough of the application, as well as show you how to leverage it in your Monday instance to do the time tracking part. And I noticed some familiar names already in the chat, so that's good to see you here. And looking forward to this to webinar and sharing more with you later on when our part of the Tracket application comes in.
All right, a little bit about Idalko. Idalko has offices in both the Netherlands, Belgium, and France. We started in 2011, and by now we have 40 people working for both Adlesion and Monday.com. In 2023, we merged with Avisi. That's actually the office that I'm still sitting in. That's in Arnhem, the Netherlands. And yeah, we've been doing a good job. We're actually a Monday.com Gold partner. We started that both with Idalko and Avisi. Avisi started in 2020, and by now we're a Gold partner. Maybe good to explain what this is, because the Monday.com doesn't have an office in the Netherlands, and they still want to help their customers in Dutch. They started with partnerships, and these partners try to help people with Monday.com. They do that by showing them more about the software, but also with consultancy. So we've got certified experts that can help with consultancy services, and of course we can give the license advice. So if we help them with consultancy, we have multiple solutions. We can either offer consult, that basically means that we can help them with advice, brainstorming, or just with thinking how they can use Monday.com. But we can also help them with the implementation. So that means setting up or changing your current Monday environment. Next to that, we have our support. Supports for questions, for explaining features. That often comes together with our customer success management. And next to that, we also have a training. We can do preset trainings for basic and advanced or admin, but it's also possible to do personalized training. So that basically means that we look at your Monday environment, and then we're going to give your employees a training about how it works in your specific use case. And finally, something quite new is that we do migrations. So with our migration tool, we can help customers from a US server to EU server. We see that often is a question because they want to be GDPR compliant. And like I said, we're all certified experts. So we have Monday certifications, and we continuously learn new Monday stuff. So then I'd like to switch to the live demo. But before I'm going to do that, I want to thank you guys all for the input that you put. And of course, you guys just helped me with coming up with today's topic. So let me put this in the screen. As you can see, it's a very clear topic that we're going to do, and that's Halloween. I asked you guys to do this through a form. This is also something that we're going to go through. Like I said before, I don't want to go too much in depth because we don't have too much time for that. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you a quick overview of what's possible in Monday, and then we're going to focus on some tips and tricks. So I'm going to show you how you can use Monday on a more advanced level to get better overviews, but also to get how to use it better and make Monday work for you. And this all hangs together with Trackit, with the hour log system. So Luca's going to show how hours can be logged on the operational stuff that I'm going to show you guys in a bit. So to start, I want to explain what Monday.com is. Monday.com is a work operation system. It started as a project management tool, but Monday noticed that a lot of different departments and different companies started working with it, and that it could be a tool for centralized work. So basically every department can work with it, and they can put their own workflows in. So Monday became a work operation system and gives you the building blocks to create software that helps you follow those workflows that you do with your department or with your organization. So today we're going to focus on project management, but a project on itself can basically be compared with your day-to-day work, because everything that you do are basically small projects. So I hope you feel some connection with the work that you do. To make it a little bit easier to understand and to make it a little bit more fun, instead of making it projects, we made it parties. So today you guys are going to help us with organizing a Halloween party. And to do that, I'm going to show you an operational board, but also a high-level management board, which is often used for management. So I just opened Monday, and I always start, for the people that don't know what Monday is, with how Monday is built up. So if you look here, we see that this is the webinar. This is a Monday workspace. This is often used for departments. So every department has their own workspace. They can do their own work in, and they can fill in all their data and all their workflows on the site. So you basically don't have to look at sales workflows if you're in marketing, or if you're in finance, then you don't have to look at sales workflows. However, everything between those different workspaces can communicate. So you can work together, and I'm going to show you how in a bit. Monday doesn't work if you don't have a board. So everything starts at something, and that's a Monday board. I'm just going to add one to show you what it is. It looks a little bit similar to Excel, but it's definitely something different. So everything in here is drag and drop. You can see cells and rows, but unlike Excel, all these different columns have a meaning already. Whereas with Excel, you have to fill something in to give it a meaning. Why am I telling you this? Just so you know what I'm going to show you in a bit and how it's built up. We can add all these columns with a specific meaning, and from there we can create our workflows. That enough about how Monday is built up, because I think a lot of people in this chat already know how Monday works. So we're just going to go into a high-level overview. What is a high-level overview? A high-level overview is used to give a summary of all your active projects or all your active operations. In here, you will be able to see how much budget there is, how much costs are spent, how much effort is used, how much effort is how much effort is budgeted. But most certainly what people like to see is how much of the project is done. So I already got 2 active parties. We got Halloween and Christmas. And you can see that 42% of the Christmas party is already finished, whereas the Halloween party only 25% is finished. So in this overview, you have a quick overview of what needs to be done, how much is spent, and how much time is spent into it. This you can visualize in a different way as well. Right now we look at the table view, but we can also look at a timeline view. So all that data that we have, we can put into an active party view where we can see that currently we're almost halfway in the timeline of the Halloween party preparations. Another visualization that we have is the dashboard. In the dashboard, we can see that there's 1 upcoming party, there's 3 in progress right now, and there's 2 completed. Then in here, we can also visualize that budget that I talked about before. So we can see in the summer party, we had an allocated budget of 260,000 euros. As you can see at Idalko, we like to give very big parties. But yeah, you can see the same for Christmas, Halloween, and Easter. And we can do the same for all the actual effort planned. So all the hours that people worked on it. This is where I want to start with showing you guys the added value of automations in Monday. So of course, every party might have a same structure or something similar, and you don't want to build that from scratch. So instead of having to build everything from scratch with a new board that I added before, you can also just use a template. So what I have here is a party template. In here, we can see that there's different stages to a party organization. So the planning, we got the location that needs to be taken care of. The invites need to be sent, the catering needs to be done, and so on. What we can do in this template, we can already say that specific people are always relevant for a specific task that they need to do. We can say how long a specific task takes, like does it take a day, does it take 2 days? And we can say what it's dependent on. We're not going to go very much in depth with the dependency, but basically what the dependency does is show you what tasks needs to be finished before you can start your task. So if we look, for instance, at the navigation guide can only be sent after the reservation from the floor that we want to throw the party on has been finished. So once this goes to done, then the person who's responsible for navigation guidance will be able to get a message and say like, oh, you can start your work. In a specific template, we can also say how much time they can spend on a specific task. And we can say when we want that deadline to be. But I'm going to get to this point in a little bit. So back to the high-level overview. Right here, we have an upcoming party, New Year's Eve. So what I'm going to do a test party here. And then I'm going to show you guys the strength of automations combined with the party template. So as you can see, we just made an upcoming party, and I made an automation that says when we change the status to in progress, then it will create a template for us and give it the right name. So let's change this to in progress. Then we have to wait a little bit, and then yes, it will put it into the active parties because something that's in progress is active. And while we wait a little bit longer, it should make a party here, as you can see. So what we just did, we created a template. We created a new party from a template, and we called it the same name as that we gave in the high-level overview. So the test parties is in here now. And as you can see, that's the same as the template that I showed you before. What Monday does as well, it puts it in the right folder for us, so in the upcoming parties. And once it's finished, then we can drag and drop it to the finished parties. For now, I'm going to delete this so there's not too much stuff going on for you guys. But yeah, that's basically what we can do with an automation. We can make Monday do a lot of grunt work that we normally have to do by hand by an automation. So what we're going to do now, we're going to go into the operational board. So all the tasks that we need to do for the specific party. As you guys chose, we're going to do the Halloween party. And right here, we see all the different aspects of the party that we need to do. And what I forgot to close. Here. So what I want to do with you guys right now is set the deadline. So the deadline when a specific person needs their task done. Right now it's already filled in, but I want to show you guys a little tip and trick how you can very easily set a deadline once you know when the party is happening. So let's go to the party planning here. This is a view that only shows us when the party is. Yeah. So we're in the party information right now, and we see that the party is on the 31st of October. Maybe for the people that are using Monday a lot already, as you can see, there's a new date picker. So right now you don't have to click 20 times to go back to the previous months. You can now fill in the date yourself. But as we can see, it's the 31st. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to the dates calculator. That's another view that I created. And I think I just broke that while I was accidentally clicking. Yeah, this was supposed to be hidden, but I accidentally broke it while I clicked wrong by now. Apologies. But what we're going to do, we're going to use this deadline, and we're going to use a mechanism that uses automations and a button in Monday to create a deadline. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on Command A or Control A, depending on if you're Windows or Apple. I'm going to right now delete every deadline but the deadline of the actual party. So I'm going to click that away. All those items are being deleted by Monday because I selected all items. And what I'm going to do right now when this is finished, I'm going to fill in that date here, the 31st of October. Should be finished by now. So let me refresh quickly. Yes, I'm going to Command A again, click this away. What I'm going to fill in here right now is the 31st of October. Of course, that's not the deadline for the tasks that we want to do, but that's going to be created for us. So as you can see, all these deadlines are going to be the 31st of October. But like I said, we don't want that to be our deadline. So as you can see what I did here, I made a label column that says how long before the deadline, just before the actual Halloween party, this specific task needs to have its deadline. So for this one, it should be a month before that. So it should be somewhere in September, and that's when it's finished. As you can see, I already filled in the timeline for you guys, and that's for 2 days, the 29th and the 30th of September. But we need this day to become the 30th of September as well. So what we're going to do, while we're still in this select all function, we're going to click on calculate. And I made an automation that says if this is -1 month, then change this date to -1 month. And the same for -1 week, -1 week. So let's click on there. And then we'll see the magic happen. I'll just give it a second. Yeah, you can see all the dates are jumping. So this went from 31st of October to the 30th of September. And this went to the 24th of October. So this way, we changed the template that normally should have been empty, like here. We changed that to an actual use case that we can use for Monday for the people that need to work on it. And what will happen with Monday? I can see it. I can show it very properly in my demo environment. But when there's a deadline, so for instance the 30th of September, and that's connected with me, then this will show up in my work. In my work, I can then see all the tasks that are assigned to me and when I need to finish them. But like I said, this is our demo environment, so it's full with different demos, and my name gets used all the time. So that's the dates calculator. But what we can do as well is in this Halloween overview, we have all our tasks. And we can use a view in Monday that's called, I'll show you guys, dynamic me. That's basically a filter that shows every task that is assigned to you. So this will help you save time by scrolling through the normal view and see all the other people to make sure that it's your task. You can just make a view that focuses on everything that's assigned to you. And then you have a quick overview. So there's two ways for you to see all the tasks that you need to do. You can go to my work and see all the tasks over all your different projects. Or if you want to look in your specific project, then you just go to the view tasks assigned to me. Another very interesting view could be the Gantt view. The Gantt view can show you when all tasks needs to be done. So as you can see, the planning is often at the start, then the location gets chosen, then the invites get sent out, and then of course catering, etc. needs to happen. Here you see also a lot of lines. This is again those dependencies that we try to set up. With those dependencies, we can see what tasks needs to be finished before. So we can see the planning checklist needs to be finished before the presentation can be made. And the same for the welcoming speech. On this, we can also set a lot of rules that when this date changes, then that changes as well. But for now, we're not going to go into that. Another thing that I want to show you is a dashboard. In Monday, you got two levels of dashboards. You got a dashboard that is in a specific board. So that dashboard can only look at the data that's in that board. But another way what we can do is make a dashboard that combines different parties, and then we can have more data to work with. For this specific use case, we're going to look at the data in this board. And here we can see that 41 of this specific project is done. Then we can see all the effort that's been put in this specific project. We can see that the actual effort is 322 hours, but we planned 856. What you can also see is who worked most. I had the help from Lucas to put this in, and by the looks of it, Lucas likes to work a lot more than me. So he's done 204 hours, where I did only 84. What we can then do is also see when the tasks are finished. For this, we use a Monday formula, which I'm going to jump to in a bit. As you can see, 58% is still pending, so they're still not finished. Then we have 33% that's finished on time, and only 8% is finished late. So as you can see, that's only one task that's been finished late. I can show you how this is built up and how Monday, how we use the Monday formula is very smart to make Monday do the thinking for us. Another overview that we can see is who finished all tasks and if they finished them on time or if they finished them late. This feels maybe very controlling, but it gives you a quick overview of whether you can do your tasks on time. So when you talk to your employees, they might think like, oh, you're going to check on me. But often how people use this is for their own well-being, to make sure that they don't get overworked or that they don't get too many tasks after each other. And another instance of a dashboard is, of course, the budget. So you can make sure that the budget isn't too much. So let's go back to that specific formula that we used. For that, I'm going to the main table with all the information that we normally don't want to see in the party planning. And if we look in here, we see it here. We see the completion status. If we click this open, there's a big formula, something that you're used to with Excel. But if we click this open, we can see that Monday looks if something's done late, done on time, or done overdue. And with this information, we can then create dashboarding or we can create filters. I want to go one step further for you guys, and I want to click into the deadlines and dashboard here. Something what I did with all those specific formulas, like here I can see what's finished, what should have been finished, or if it's finished after or on time. We can do a lot more with that data. So we can even create a dashboard that shows how many tasks are finished, how many tasks should be finished, and we can show that in a percentual way as well. Like here, we can, for instance, see that 55% is finished on time and 44% is finished after deadline. But what's more important is that we can see how many tasks there are still left to do, how much is overtime, and how many of those tasks are in the future. Why is this interesting? We can save a lot of time by this overview, for instance, with a weekly. So let's say we start the week and we look at this with the team. Then we can see how many tasks need to be done still and how many are overtime. Then we know these should have been done previously, and then we can focus on that with the team. Under here, we see a big list with everything that is not finished and should have been finished. So that's these 6. And then we can focus on those, and then we can assign people and tell them like, hey, we need to work on this. But more importantly, of course, this whole webinar is focused about logging time and saving time. So how can we log time? And that's what Lucas is going to show you guys straight away. We have a lot of operational tasks, and Lucas is going to show you how you can use that and how we can make sure that this planned effort is compared with the actual effort. So I'm going to give you the floor, Lucas.
Awesome, awesome, Joel. I think we can get a great party going with all you just shared, and well, a great party at least when you are still doing this all within your budget and not running out, spending too much hours on tasks that could have been finished quickly. So I'm gonna share something on the management of time, the time spent, and also how to do that well with Tracket. So I'm gonna share my screen here, so you see you'll see what this will look like. Okay, so in short, Trackit is currently the #1 time tracking app in the Monday.com marketplace. It's available in the marketplace, so that means it's directly integrated within your Monday instance. And that really helps to tie both your project management together with the hours logged. And as most of you know, those two are like very intertwined, because you can have a successful project, but again, if you run out of hours or if you're not within budget, you got to ask yourself, like, how successful is the project really? And this is where Tracket comes in. So let's see how it looks. I got a brief overview right here. Basically 5 main pillars how the app works. One I already explained, and that's that it's completely integrated. That also means you can log with multiple people in your same instance and see all those hours right there. Secondly, we did our best to make this an intuitive tool. We are with VZ Apps, and we are with a team of 12 people right here. We also have UX designers and so on to make this an user-friendly tool, so everyone actually logs their hours. So we did our best to make it as easy as possible for people to make time entries. And then what you get is insightful reports that tell you either how much time you got to bill your clients, or, well, how you're doing on your different tasks. Now, in this example Joel shared, there are 2 projects. So you got Christmas and Halloween. And it's interesting to then compare the 2 and see, hey, we got the same tasks on these projects, but where are we doing better? And what might be causing that? So all that information is available. And then lastly, the app is very well scalable. So I see we're with about 50 people right here. So all types of different organizations, different sizes. And this app works well with even a small team, but also all the way up to 1,000 users. We got clients using the application. So you can definitely scale up, and hopefully that's what's going to happen after this webinar when you start using what we shared. Finally, it's a complete app. So it comes with more functionality than the standard time tracking tools that are available in your Monday.com instance. That means you got not just a timer that you can run, but you can also do timesheets, approval flows, generating reports that you can export, and of course the widgets on dashboards are also available. So let's dive right in. I am going to share you what this all looks like in the Monday instance, and questions are very welcome after the demo session or towards the end of this webinar, and then we can really dive deep. So let's see, we got this I see I'm still sharing my one screen. Let's switch that up then. Okay, so here we have it. Same instance as Joel shared. To make time entries with this application, once you installed it, simply open up an item. Say I worked on a presentation for the event, and then I can do a time entry right here. So this is how you do it. You select a day. Well, say I did some work on this today. Making a presentation is what I usually do in my marketing work. And then I fill out the hours like so. Maybe it took me an hour. Then I add a description what I exactly did. I added in the visuals and log the hours. So once these are logged, you see a brief overview here on the time spent already on this item level. And that same information is available to display on an item bar, like Joel shared. So here we see, okay, actual effort is the 5 hours that was just visible, and you can compare that with your planned effort. Now, in this case, we still got plenty of hours to work on this presentation, so we shouldn't worry too much yet. But when you come close, you got to pay attention to these things. With the application, you can also do a whole lot more if we go to this timesheet overview we have right here. You can recognize that on the Tracket icon. Now, this is what my current work week looks like, and it's a personal timesheet. So here we have all hours I worked on different items in different categories. I'm a pretty got a pretty broad spectrum of things I keep busy with. Buying snacks, one of my favorite things to do. So as you can see, on Monday, I spent 4 hours on that. Maybe it was 5 hours. So then I can change up these hours like so. Same goes with making pizzas. Okay, maybe I also did some pizza making today. I can add in hours like this, or edit the existing ones. Then there are suggested combinations, and you can use those to quickly add in new items that you made time entries on in the past. For example, well, say I make presentations on a regular basis, you can add those in and then do the hours on the day that you worked. So here we see the work week is not complete yet because we're only halfway through. But if we look at last week, we got the full work week. And well, surprisingly, I spent almost my whole week making pizzas. So that's, I'd say, a good week. But this is almost finished. Maybe I did a little more on Friday, and then it's complete, ready to submit to the approver for them to check the hours. And that's an optional feature, by the way. So if you don't want to get bothered by the whole approval flow of things, then just you can just turn that off and keep things simple. Now, say I check my own hours, or maybe Joel does. I'll submit it to Joel so he can check my hours. Then he has access to the team part. So this is really where more functionality comes in as it comes to reviewing timesheets and doing reporting, because these people are usually the project managers, and we can review per team all approvals that have been sent in. So here we're with the friends team, and we got a couple timesheets this week that are still open. As you can see, not everyone is actively logging their hours. So we got Phoebe and Ross, they still got some time to log. But for the rest, everyone is doing all right. We can go to last week and we see, okay, these timesheets have been submitted. Now, I just submitted one, that was this one, but also Joey does, and he submitted it to me as I am his approver. So I can review his timesheet like here, and then see exactly the hours he logged, and then either approve or reject. Now, this all looks good, so I'm gonna approve his timesheet. But if I go back to approvals, I can also see that Ross submitted his timesheet, but he worked 40 hours out of his 32 hours that he regularly works. So the thing here is we can also reject the timesheet. And is in this case, he overworked. So we can then reject it and say like, hey, Ross, is this really how much time you spend on invites, on sending invites? As that's a full week. And then he can, well, make changes if needed. Okay, so that's for approvals. That really ensures that you have accurate time entries, that you got the right information to then be used for reports to really get a good idea of how you're doing with your team. And that can be found in reports. Again, we select the team and we see a complete overview of all hours me and my team worked. This tells us a bit on how the team's been doing in terms of workload, but we got more details to be added. So we can group by the different boards that are available in our Monday instance that the time has been spent on. And by now, you already know we got two projects running. So we got Halloween and then we have Christmas. So we've been highly invested in Halloween. That's really the first project coming up. And Kobe and Joey already started doing some prepping for the Christmas event. But we want to know how the tasks are doing on this project level. So we can add in another group and then do the items. So this is really where we see all tasks, like buying the snacks, sending the invites, well, making the pizzas. And as you can see, me and Joel really like to do that. All right, so this can then be exported and shared with others. If you're doing this for clients, you can really do that. And also you can filter stuff out. So say we filter out this project Halloween, we only see those hours, and then we can do specific items that we like to learn from. The same information we see right here is able to be able to display in a visual way. So you can do dashboards as well. And these, you can tie these in really well with the ones Joel shared, because this really fills out the things, the bits on a team management level, but also the task levels. And what Joel shared, well, does the same thing, but then a bit from a higher level overview. So definitely see if you can combine the two. And I just like to highlight a couple. We got our total time spent per project in every week. Now we can see, okay, Halloween, we started working on this in week 40 and spent 146 hours. And then we got our time spent in the last month per project divided by tasks. Again, Halloween is really what we aim for, or what we spend our time on. But also internally, we can see, okay, how has each department been doing? So we got marketing effort, office management effort, a bit of sales. And then lastly, we got each team member. How's everyone doing? Well, Joe and I are actually working exactly the same hours these days. So in the past month, we are right there, kind of doing the same effort. Okay, well, I think that's the main bits of the application. So why is this important? With this, you can keep track of the time spent on your projects, but also by your team, identify time wasters or weak links, and then use that information to your benefit to run better projects, make clients happy, do successful events, and still make some money off it. If that's your business, if that's your aim. We also have nonprofit organizations using this. So there are more motives to keep track of time. Just I'm a wrap up here and move on, but just want to highlight one thing, that there are admin settings available in Tracket. Have a look yourself if you can. With this, you can customize your settings and really optimize your overall performance with the app. Okay, let's see, back to the presentation. I got that right here. See if this works this time. Okay, so let's see. I just wanted to share with you one quick video here, and then we'll open up for Q&A. And that is a success story of a successful customer that implemented this application and shares with you what it did for them and how they use it for their benefit. So here's Jaylin from 26.5. She's also in this webinar. So quick shout out to Jaylin. Thank you for sending this in. And I hope this will be inspiring to all of you watching.
Hi there, my name is Jalen Hoops, and I work for 26.5 Global Lab as the Operations and Design Manager. 26.5 is a global brand and growth consulting firm powered by its independent network of creative and technology labs. We have teams all across the US, Europe, India, and Asia. We work with VCs, startups, F100s, and brands seeking reinvention, business acceleration, and transformation. One of the reasons we started using Trackit is to find an easy and efficient way for us to capture our time. Trackit made it easy by integrating seamlessly with Monday.com, which we use for our project management. With the flexibility of how we can track our time, whether that was while we were working on it, manually entering that in, or starting a timer, or even going to a sheet and tracking all of the stuff that was done for the week, it just gave a lot of flexibility and allowed us to adopt it at a really great rate. Another thing that has brought a lot of value to our company is how we can actually see those results of the time being tracked. We can track it directly in Monday and see how it's going from Monday.com. They also offer a dashboard that allows us to see on different levels, whether that is on an individual, a company, or even on a team level. And then we also have the option to export that data to a Google Sheet, which we can then manipulate the data and change it so that it's in a client-ready format. We really love the representative that we have, Lucas. He always is there to answer our questions in a timely manner, even when we're in different time zones. We also know that we're gonna know about anything coming down the pipeline. They always keep us in the loop and let us know about how it might affect our workflow or how we're using Trackit, or things that might be improving and help us out in the long run. An unexpected surprise from Trackit was the fact that we're introduced to other clients that they work with. So we're able to meet with others who might be using the software, bounce some ideas off of each other, or even ask questions in a specific use case that we might have in common. It gives a great sense of community to us and gives us a good way to think about using Trackit in different ways from other people.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so thank you, Jaylin, once again for sharing that with us. On this note, she mentioned our support, and we're always happy to learn from clients. So that's also how we improve this app. So should you have heard things that you're like, hey, how does this work? Perhaps you got some feedback, or you'd like to see the app improved, just let us know and we continue to improve. So we got a lot of good stuff coming. Definitely start to try yourself, because with that, you get access, you get emails from us, and you will be up to date on what to expect and cool changes to the app. So now let's see, we got 10 minutes left, more or less. A couple questions came in already. So I'd like to open it up for a Q&A, and Chloe will ask me and Joel questions. We'll do our best to answer these for you. Should we run out of time, then we can always get back to you on the questions via email or on a personal level. So let's open it up here.
All right, guys. So you have a few questions. First, it's Lindy. She asks, so I have noticed that the Tracket app shows the sum of the hours time tracked in the group, but the Monday.com time tracker removed this functionality. Do you know why?
I think I can answer that one. So basically what Monday's been doing with their time tracking, because they noticed they didn't have enough strength behind their time tracking, they took their hands off a little bit. The reason why they put that away is because it resulted into a lot of reporting problems, which can be fixed with Trackit. Like I said, Monday right now isn't spending a lot of time and resources into their time tracking. And they're fully behind Trackit. So they're currently also advising Trackit to their customers.
Oh, I hope this sounds good to you, Lindy. She also had another question. It was, we have a freelance designer who uses time tracking. Can one automatically generate a monthly timesheet to be linked to monthly invoicing?
All right, so I'll take that one. It's a good point. We hear it a lot. And currently, it's still a manual way to export the reports you're making. However, there is an API available that you could use. And with that, you can automate the process of extracting Trackit's data and put it directly into your invoice system. Now, we've got a couple of customers doing that, and that really makes it a lot more efficient. And should you have questions about this, we got extensive documentation on the API, but also, again, the support channel. We're happy to help out with that. It does require a bit technical approach, but we can definitely do that. So there will be an email after this webinar with a link to our support channel. I highly suggest to reach out to us about this if you're interested.
All right, good. Next one is Felicity asking, is there a cost associated to downloading Tracket in Monday.com, or is it included within our Monday subscription? Great session, by the way. Thank you.
Okay, well, thanks for that positive note there. And on prices, it's as follows. Everyone has access to 21-day free trial, and so that's free use of the app. After that, there is a subscription model based on the amount of users you have in your instance. So that means that you have to pay separately for the app, and prices start at about $5 a user a month. With a increase in user tier, prices drop. So that means if you're a bigger organization, you'll pay less per user. And also, when you are confident enough with the app, a yearly subscription will save you off 2 months of monthly fee.
Maybe you can say something about monetization that's coming.
Okay, good point. Currently, we are using our own billing software within the app, and we are on the brinks of moving that all over to Monday's own monetization system in place. That will make things a whole lot easier because you got both your Monday billing and Tracket billing in the same place, and it just works via the marketplace as it regards to payment. Other than that, the app just functions the same way as it currently does. It's just like a monetization thing that will make it a lot better for a lot of our customers.
Yeah, so that means that it will be charged the same way as you're used to with your Monday subscription. It's just it will be added to the cost.
Yes, right.
Sure. I can
Annalena
see
has
it.
another question. Do you want to
Yeah, I
read
can
it,
see.
Joel?
Yeah, maybe you read it. I just saw it pop up. So if you read it, then everyone knows as well.
Okay, so I have a question concerning that Tracket, but the calculate button Joel showed in the party planning board. Is that something you developed, or is it something available in Monday.com? Just checking parallelly or couldn't find it. Thanks for the interesting session.
No, correct. It's something that we created ourselves. It was a question that we got a lot from our customers because they felt like they had to fill in loads of data for their projects, and they basically always knew when, like, backdated when data needs to be. So that's why we created it. It's actually not too complicated, and if you need help with it, we can definitely show you how it's done or implement it for your company.
Right. Mike also has a question. I jumped in late, but was wondering if there are any automations available that allow you to link the time tracking to a bottom feature, or do the user have to go into and start the tracking manually?
Right. Okay. So on the I'm not sure if you were in the call when I shared the item view, but when you open up an item, you can there make a time entry, and that's also where you'll find the button start timer. That will start to run a manual timer, like the native time tracking feature of Monday, and that's how you can make a time entry. Other than that, use the time logging in retrospect or the timesheet option. With the suggestions that are available there as well. And yeah, there are more updates coming to make that more user-friendly as well, early 2024. So if that's something you'd be interested in, definitely start the trial and you'll be updated on it.
All right. Is there any other questions?
I think that's it. Could you go to the next screen, Lucas?
Yeah, sure. Good one.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thanks for all your time and for all your questions, of course. We had a lot of fun. We're definitely going to do this on a more regular basis, and we're definitely going to go more in depth with our webinars as well. So yeah, stay connected. And if you got interested from what we showed, feel free to contact us. There will be an email sent out with our contact details. If there's anything that I showed during our demo that you would like to get implemented in your Monday environment, we're happy to help. We can do that in Dutch, English, and French. And we can do that remote or on location, depending on where you are, of course. So thanks again, and hope to see you soon again.